I'm gonna show to you, my fellow chessers, the chess game between Alireza Firouzja and MVL in SuperBet Chess Classic Romania 2025, round number 1, my fellow chessers. So let's begin on e4, c5. Wow, Sicilian defense, knight f3, e6. So this is Sicilian defense, French variation. D3, wow. The common line in this position is D4, my fellow chessers. So let's continue the game on D3, D5, Queen E2, Knight F6, G3, Knight C6, Bishop G2, Bishop E7, A4. What's the idea of A4? The idea of A4, if black plays D4, we have Knight A3 and go here, my fellow Kachasers, Knight C4. So anyway, let's go. Let's continue the game. B6, castle's king side, bishop B7, bishop F4, H6, my fellow chessers, H4, castle's king side, E5, attacking the knight on F6. Knight H7, my fellow chessers, C3, queen D7, rook E1, rook A, E8, knight B D2, F5, and then e takes F6, bishop takes F6, bishop H3, G5, attacking the bishop on F4, same time the H4 pawn, H takes G5, H takes G5, bishop E5, queen G7, wow, good move, or brilliant move, good move, bishop f6, queen takes f6, knight h2, preparing for knight g4, something like that. What's next? Rook h6, rook h6 attacking the bishop on h3, as you can see, bishop g2, knight f6, knight g4, attacking the rook on h6 at the same time attacking the knight on f6, my fellow chessers. Knight takes g5, queen takes g5, knight e5, attacking the queen on g4, my fellow chessers. So queen e2, knight c6, knight f6. If you ask me, my fellow chessers, why Alireza didn't take this bishop at the pawn on d5. If takes the pawn on d5, we have knight d4 attacking the queen on e8 at the same time attacking the bishop on d5. If she takes d4, we have bishop takes d5. As you can see, threatening checkmate on h1, my fellow chessers. So that's why Alireza Firouzja didn't take the pawn on d5, my fellow chessers. And let's continue the game, my fellow chessers. Knight f2, f1, g5, g4, g4, a5, and b5, a6, attacking the bishop on b7, bishop a8, rook d1, rook a d1, rook f8, knight h2 attacking the pawn on g4, rook g6, queen d2, knight b8, mistake of MVL. The best continuation on this position is d4, d4, queen h7, or queen to h8, my fellow chessers. So let's continue the game, my fellow chessers, to knight b8, g4, and the c4, rook a1 is mistake of Alireza Firouzja. The best continuation in this position is rook e3 or rook e5 or rook e3. e3 and e5, my fellow chessers, and then rook b1. All right, that's the best continuation based on the computer. Rook a1, bishop c6, rook e5, knight d7 attacking the pawn, the rook on e5, rook h4, h5, knight f6 attacking the rook on h5. 4, h5, h5. Rook h4, bishop d7, rook e1, bishop c6, bishop c8, attacking the pawn on a6, a6. Knight f1, wow, knight f1. Rook g5, rook e5, rook g6, knight e3, king to f7, queen e2, rook to e8, b3, wow, sacrifice. Bishop takes a6, blunder or mistake of MVL. The best continuation on this position is bishop d7 or c takes b3 or rook h6. That is the best continuation based on computer. My fellow chessers, all right? Bishop a6 and then b takes c4 mistake or x of Alireza Firouzja. The best continuation on this position is queen a2, attack the bishop on a6. So anyway, let's get it on. Queen a2 or b takes c4 or knight d5, knight takes d5, sacrifice, sacrifice. All right, so let's continue the game. B takes c4 and then b takes c4, rook a2, attacking the bishop on a6, bishop c8, blunder of MVL, my fellow chessers. The best continuation on this position is what? Bishop b5 or bishop b7 or knight d7. Huh? Anyway, so let's get it on. Let's go. Bishop c8, blunder of MVL. Knight takes d5. Brilliant move of Alireza Firouzja, my fellow chessers. As you can see, my fellow chessers, brilliant move. So e takes e5, e takes d5, queen takes a6, a7. Check, my fellow chessers. Bishop d7, bishop d5. Wow, combo, my fellow chessers. Bishop takes d5, knight takes d5, queen takes d7, knight e7, rook f5. Check, my fellow chessers. You can take the rook on f5 because this is open check. Correct my pronunciation or my sentence, my fellow chessers. Anyway, let's get it on. Rook f6, rook takes g5, brilliant move again of Alireza Firouzja. Sacrifice, wow. Queen takes h8. Why? If we take the rook on g4, my fellow chessers, obviously we have rook takes f6. As you can see, check at the same time attacking the queen on g4, my fellow chessers. That's why MVL didn't take the rook on g4, my fellow chessers. So let's continue the game, my fellow chessers. Rook takes g4, queen h8, rook f6, rook takes f6, king takes f6, rook h4, and then MVL resigns the game. Why? Example, if you continue the game, if you go here, right? Example, we have queen d6. As you can see, my fellow chessers, the evaluation bar here, the white is winning, my fellow chessers. So that's all, my fellow chessers. And to God be all the glory. Praise Lord Jesus Christ. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Chessers TV and Chessers TV official team, my fellow chessers. To God be all the glory. Praise Lord Jesus Christ.